Hi guys, it's Melissa from My Kosher Keto Life. Thank you so much for joining me today. So what I'm going to be doing is give you guys a summary of how the last few weeks on keto have been for me. It's going to be week 7 and weeks 8. I'm currently in the middle of week 9. It is Wednesday, and so I weigh in on Fridays, so I will post another video later on. So the reason why I haven't posted videos recently is because my phone, which is the device that I usually record my videos on, has filled up with space, and so therefore I have no extra space to record videos and edit them and upload them. So it's been a little bit of a journey trying to figure out what is the best way to do this. Right now I'm currently using my work computer. Thank you, work computer. Um, and so I do have to still figure that out. Maybe I'll continue using it like this if it works well. So I did take a bunch of videos in portions of some recipes and what I eat in a day. Haven't had a chance to kind of figure out how to upload them from my phone. Right now I'm going to just keep them aside, and if I have a chance, I'm going to upload them. So basically, I want to give you guys an update on the last couple weeks, and then what I also want to talk about today is some of my snacks that I go to for keto. So, week 7. Week 7 was a week where I was off from work. Yay, winter break. Some of the things that we did while I was off was we decided to do some home improvements to our home. So as you can see, the walls are now white. As before, they were like a brown. So my husband and I decided to get all crafty, and we decided to go to Home Depot, buy a bunch of paint, rollers. I always imagined it would be like overalls and like paint fights, and let me just tell you, it was not that. It's really hard work. So we definitely did a lot of hard work. We installed our own faucets in the kitchen. We switched out the hardware. We have installed new light fixtures in the kitchen that you can't see right now. But it was really a really productive and good week for us. We got to spend some time together, so that's always nice. And during that week, I lost nothing. I basically stayed the same. I knew that my cravings were starting to ramp up a little bit, and I started to feel a little bit bloated. And that was because the next week was the most wonderful time of the month. Okay, that's basically my hint for what. So I kind of ate a little bit more than I typically would. My cravings are generally surrounding lots of chocolate and sweets and cake. Like that's literally all I want. And my appetite gets a little bit bigger. So that week was my week 8, and that week I actually lost 0.4 pounds. So I was really pleased with that because I didn't expect to lose much. And so total for my 2-month weigh-in, it was about 8.4 pounds. Now, most people who do keto, a lot of times you're going to be seeing people who have weight loss of like 10 pounds in like a couple of, in like a month maybe. And it took me a little longer than that, but that's okay. I'm not taking it super seriously in terms of strict wise. I'm really just taking it whatever works for me. And that means if I need snacks, I'm going to have some snacks, and I'll share some of those with you. And also, it means that I'm not really counting anything. I'm not keeping track of my macros. I'm not keeping track of my carbs. I am not really portioning things. And I do attribute my slower weight loss to that, but I'm really okay with it because I don't feel deprived, and I don't feel like I need to quit anytime soon. I don't feel like I want to quit anytime soon. And slow and steady wins the race for me. So I'm happy. I'm happy I'm taking this my own way. And again, like 8.4 pounds is really nothing to laugh at in my book because it takes me a really long time to lose that weight typically. Even today, someone at work kind of told me that they noticed that I look much better, and she could not believe it. Even from last time I complimented you, there's a big difference. So I'm really thankful. I'm happy with the way that I'm feeling. I haven't been feeling super light like I typically do when I'm on keto. Like usually my stomach just feels lighter, everything feels less bloated. My rings have been pretty big on me, so that's definitely an improvement, but it's always the first place that I lose weight is my fingers. So I'm really happy with the weight loss. And again, it's very easy to get sidetracked and distracted and looking at other people's results, seeing how they're doing, and kind of comparing yourself. But what works for you may not be what works for someone else, and vice versa. So someone else who lost 30 pounds in 3 months may not be the pace that you're going to go at. And that's okay, as long as you're happy with it. So like I had mentioned before, some areas that I do have for room for improvement in is probably number one, keeping track of my carbs. It's probably the first and foremost. The first thing I probably need to buckle down on a little bit if I want to see faster results, and see results heading in the downward trend. So I am going to start a plan in my head where if we're typically allowed to have around 20 net carbs, that's my goal for the day. I'm going to try to divide it up into 3 meals of 6 net carbs a day with room for a 2 net carb snack, or just using that 2 net carbs somewhere else floating around my day. So I think this might be helpful because I can plan out the individual meals in a smaller amount of net carbs. That's easier for me to keep track of without writing things down. And I think having a limit of 2 net carbs for a snack is going to be helpful if I need it. I know you're not really supposed to snack on keto, but that's what works for me. So that's what I have to do. When I get home is when I have the most times that I want to pick at anything. And I'll usually sit there with soup and with nuts and with handfuls of cheese. And like, that's a problem. Even though those are all keto foods, it's still a problem. And I should probably be drinking more water. Okay, here. Oh, it feels good. Drinking more water, having maybe a tea. Oh, today's actually National Tea Day. Did you know that, Ariel? So maybe I'll have a tea or even a coffee with some heavy cream, just something to kind of tide me over and have like some sort of snack. So that's my update for you guys. Hopefully this week I'll have another loss, and I'm really enjoying keto. I really, really am. I'm not feeling deprived because I'm still having treats. I made brownies for this past weekend, which is really delicious. The only problem is that I'm the only one eating them, and there were 16 of them. And the problem is there were some days where I had 2. There were some days where I had 1 and a chocolate chip cookie. And mind you, each of the portions is only 1 net carb. So I had 2, so it's 2 net carbs. It's not crazy, but to have it every day, I don't think I've ever met a diet or change of eating with the intention of losing weight that includes having desserts every single day, multiple days. So I have to be careful with that because I don't want to go down the rabbit hole. So here is a list of some snacks. I think it's backwards for you guys, so I'll just read it out to you. This is what I did was I sat down and I wrote a list of savory snacks and sweet snacks and the portions along with the net carb count, order from least to most. So if I'm hungry, I can kind of just choose a snack off my list. So for the savory snacks, a hard-boiled egg is about half a net carb. So if you need something like filling, half a net carb for, an egg is a pretty good treat. 1 net carb, you can have, I'll have a string cheese or an ounce of cheese, which sometimes has 0 net carbs. It depends on the cheese. Another savory snack I'll do is I'll choose one of the following. Each one of these is 1 net carb. 2 stalks of celery, a half a cup of sliced cucumber, or a half a round tomato. So one of those veggie choices paired with either 2 tablespoons of tempeh cream cheese, which I love, 2 tablespoons of guacamole or half an avocado, or 1 tablespoon or more of truffle mayo, which is salad mates dressing. Each one of those options is 1 net carb. So you can configure however you want and however I want, and I gave myself specific amounts, only a few choices of each vegetable, only a few choices of a dip, and that way I don't have the decision fatigue that I might get if I was really hungry, and just keep pounding foods. So I'm really going to keep this on my fridge or in my cabinet where I usually snack on things, and I think I'm going to tape it there so that I can be reminded of this. Another option is salami chips, which is 0 net carbs, taking salamis and slicing them really thin and pan searing them. It's probably a really good snack too if you want something meaty. Another thing is Quest protein chips. If you've never seen those, they're like tortilla chips in different flavors. They're delicious. You could even really make nachos with them if you wanted. I don't know how many net carbs. I believe it was like 3 or 4 for the bag. I don't remember. I don't have it with me. Paired with either cheese or guacamole. You don't have to pair it. And then also another snack is nuts for the savory. And again, that depends on your specific count. Also, if you want to have, let's say, a 2 net carb snack, like I'm doing, just know the portions in advance. What does 2 net carbs of nuts look like? Well, I know 2 net carbs of like peanut butter or nut butter is 2 tablespoons. So you have to know in advance the portions, and memorizing them does help, because then as you're eating, you can be more cognizant of how much you're actually intaking. Now the fun stuff, the sweet treats. Okay, so for 1 net carb, you can have Lily's milk chocolate chips. I wrote 26 of them. This has changed since then. I believe that the serving size is 33 chips, and I think it's 2 net carbs, something like that. So just keep track, because this was made last year. 1.5 peanut butter cookie dough fat bombs. There is a recipe on Pinterest. If you type in keto cookie dough fat bomb, it'll come up. It has cream cheese and butter, and it is amazing. So 1.5 of those. I'm sorry, 1.5 net carbs for one of them is I think what it is. I didn't write that correctly. Okay. And then another sweet treat is 1 tablespoon of peanut butter, because I love peanut butter, paired with either 1 stalk of celery, 10 Lily's chocolate chips, dark chocolate chips, and 7 Lily's milk chocolate chips. And again, it's changed since then. Those are 0 points. 0 net carbs. All of those options of the celery, the chocolate chips, with the peanut butter. Or if you wanted to do more than that, you can do more than that. Again, it depends on what the amount is that you're looking to use for your budget. And then another snack is choosing berries for 2 net carbs. Now that looks different for each portion, so I'll tell you. The least amount you can have is blueberries, which is 1/8 of a cup, is for 2 net carbs. Then you have strawberries for 1/4 of a cup is 2 net carbs. And then you have raspberries, which is 1/3 of a cup for 2 net carbs, and blackberries. You can have 1/3 of a cup and less than half a cup to be 2 net carbs. Paired with 1 net carb of 2 tablespoons of whipped cream, or 26 milk chocolate Lily's chips. Or again, pair it up. So to me, that's one of the best desserts, is taking a portion of the chocolate. I like the milk chocolate, melting it in the microwave, and using strawberries to scoop up the melted chocolate. It's just chocolate covered strawberries, but even better than the regular thing because it doesn't harden. It is so good. So there you have it, guys. I mean, also you can do, so again, if you wanted to, even keep it less, you can play around with the amounts. But again, making a sheet like this where you kind of have your toolkit of what you're going to eat when, is going to be a really helpful tool for you when you're in the moment and you're just in the mood to snack. So that is my talk on snacks. I also have some different keto snacks that I've bought in the past from Costco, and I'll show them to you guys next time. But we have these keto snaps from Costco. They're dark chocolate with almonds, and we also have the keto clusters and the keto Reese's that are from Costco. They're really, really good. And those options are helpful because they also come pre-portioned. So that's really, really cool. And I'll try to remember to show them to you. Let me see if I have any in my bag. I know I have them in the cabinet, but I'm too lazy to go look and to also stop in the middle of this. So I do know that I have something in here for emergencies. This is the keto chocolate snaps. And they do have the dark chocolate, coconut and almonds, and sea salt. Keto certified, kosher check, and I don't remember what the portion size was. I think it's 2 of them. I have to look. I don't know it by heart because I don't have the big box anymore. And then the other ones were 2 net carbs for each of those individual chocolates. I also make, some of those recipes, like my chocolate chip cookies that are parve, as well as my brownies. And I'm just trying to experiment and find recipes that I really enjoy that I can keep in the freezer and take out when I need. And that has been super helpful for me for keto. It is something I have to be careful of, though. Anyhow, I hope you guys have had a really nice couple weeks. It's sad not posting. I miss you guys, and I miss posting videos. And I'm going to try to figure out what I can do next. I'm really not tech savvy, so it's been hard for me to figure out how to upload videos. And even a video like this, I'm not editing. If I want to make a video that I have to edit and add some fun music and fast forward certain mixing and cut out pieces. I don't know how I'm going to do it because I don't have the app on my computer. So if anybody has any tips, if anybody, knows this type of stuff and has experience with it, please let me know in the comments. Please let me know if there's any tips that you guys have to kind of, get back into the swing of it and make it easier for me on a computer, possibly. I liked using my phone, but there's just no space. Unless I do a live YouTube. I don't know what that entails, but if you guys have any info, please let me know. And I will check back in with you guys on Sunday, hopefully, and just give you guys an update about this past week, week number 9, and we'll see how it goes. And it was so good to catching up with you guys. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you guys next time. And please subscribe. That way you can be notified with any videos that are going to be coming up next. Okay, good night, guys.